Hey everybody, thank you so much for tuning in tonight to the No Lag Zone. All the fun's going to get started here in a moment, and as most of you know by watching my channel, yes, I'm pre-recording this neat stuff in the alternate filming room. I just wanted to say thank you so much for taking time out of your day to bring your love, your laughter, your energy into what hopefully will be a really, really good show. Don't worry, we're going to get everything started here in about... I wanted to be better with that, but I'm not, so you know this channel. I swear to God, guys, I promise you, with Season 2 going on, I'm going to change that opening, okay? That was Season 1's opening. But still, yeah, I don't know, my fingers started shaking for some reason during that.
It's them old fingers, man.
Probably. I'm like, oh, come on, just work. How do I... all right, make fun of myself. Here we go. But guys, we are live, and from my understanding, this is Mental Health Week. I did not know that before I invited... Hold on. Damn it. That guy on. See, I caught myself that time. I'm like, that guy.
Right.
So we're going to have a lot of fun with Ken tonight, all right? We're going to really stay away from beards, content creation, that kind of thing. We'll kind of get to know who Bluegrass Bearded is. But before that fun ticks off, with it being Mental Health Week, it's really, really important to tell whoever's watching this live and whoever may watch this later, guys, you matter. This world deserves your insanity. And that's the only way I can put it. Be here, be with us. It's okay to not be okay at times, but reach out for help and talk to people, be around people, open up with stuff. You got to do it. But now, let's get into the fun here. Ken, I'm going to give you the floor for a moment. I know everybody knows who you are, all right? They know Bluegrass Bearded. In my opinion, it's one of the hottest rising beard-related YouTube channels there is out there that is not Scuba or Dan C. And that's no disrespect to anybody watching this. It's just his counts are going up everywhere. It was nice to see that on Instagram today with you with, what, 75,000 views?
Yep. Hit that last night, I think, yeah.
Yeah, and that's got to be, God, how can I put it? When you're getting rocked every so often, you take a look at that. That's got to be a great spiritual uplift for you.
Who's getting rocked? I'm not getting rocked.
Really?
No.
Okay, well then screw it. What do I know, right? But 75,000 views is still kind of cool, you know?
Yeah, trust me, it's when I first started my channel, I mean, I didn't really know. I'm just a goofball with a camera, right? I was making some videos, uploading them. I never thought that I would get 100 views, much less 75,000. That's 75,000 clicks that people took time out of their day to come and see what this goofball has to talk about. So I'm honored by that, man. It's humbling for sure.
Right, and I mean, it never gets old for me, and it still hits me like right here when you see a company owner or for me like a blade designer comment on your video. You're like, oh, thank you,
Yeah. Right.
And hey, I get him for a little bit, Mick. Just play with your circus cows and shut up, all right?
What's up, brother? How you doing, man?
Now, guys, we got a short, really, really low roll call tonight. Gabe Caldwell had first really, really earlier, even though he's in here third now. I see Rob Brennan and the Yardstick. Love you, Mick. Love you.
Okay, I've heard that many. So explain the yardstick thing. I don't know if I've ever heard the explanation for that.
I'm going to try to keep this family friendly because out of respect for my guests and your channel.
Hey, it's your channel, man.
Out of respect for you. When I was live on Mick's channel, we were making fun of him and his height. And he made mention that, well, his better half kind of got with him because, tripod. And then, yeah, right, Eric? But then the truth kind of came out where he's kind of like Stretch Armstrong. And that's where the whole yardstick kind of came from, how she kind of bolted him to one side and pulled as far as possible and then let it go.
Fair enough.
So you see, I'm trying to keep it family friendly for you.
I've got a picture now of Mick that I did not want to have, and okay.
And that's why those of us who were there laughed so hard at Yardstick. Because just the look on Mick's face after his wife kind of beat him into the ground with that. Tevin!
Oh
my God!
What's up, brother?
You're alive! Tevin! All right, I got to have a Jay Cruz moment. Hold on. And scene. Ladies and gentlemen, do you know who's in the house? The OG Keebler elf himself, Redbeard Rhodes, Tevin!
Let's go.
Turn me up, turn me up, turn me up.
Hey, Brian. Have a good night, brother.
Brian, man, thanks for stopping in and showing the love, brother. Angie Lou's here. Hey, Gary, how are you, man?
What's up,
King
Gary?
Ginger, how you doing, brother?
Josh.
All right. So, like I said, with it being Mental Health Week, I thought we'd get you on and we'd talk about issues. Now, I know we're both veterans, and certain things like mental health really, really hit home for us because you have these visions of, God, they post it in the news all the time about suicidal vets or vets that are whatever and vets that are screwed up and, all this crap. So it's nice to sit down with someone and talk on a different level because you understand certain things. Now, what do we got here? And there's Billy Rogers and Western Ram. How are you?
What's up, guys?
Billy Rogers? Yeah, I see you, Bill. So I guess one of the big things I want to ask you is when you start, okay, I don't know if you do because I love you, but this is kind of your demeanor no matter what. It's like, this is Ken's angry face. This is Ken's happy face. This is Ken's I'm going to kill you face. Hey, Kelly Groom's Room. How do you realize you're starting to lose it? How do you pull yourself back?
I have to go somewhere and just be by myself. I withdraw. I don't talk. I have to be alone.
Caleb. Okay.
In a nutshell, that's pretty much I shut down.
Okay, so what snaps you out of it? Is it just a certain point where basically your mind goes, all right, Ken, move forward?
Time, music, prayer.
That's a very powerful tool to have.
Yeah, so really just time. Sometimes, and depending on, it could be a range of things that are bugging me, right? From small to big. And depending on what it is, I just need time to sit and either tell myself, things are okay, let it be, whatever, or to tell myself, dude, why are you being so stupid? This is not a big deal,
You can take the Marine out the core, but you can't take the core out of the Marine. Always a crayon eater. Always. No, and I get that because when I had a breakdown recently, music was a big help, even though it's a two-edged sword because at some points it can help lift you up, but at other points it can bring you right back down because you remember certain things about a song, a place, a time, or whatever.
Right.
But I think prayer is very, very important because, well, granted, I say I'm a lapsed Catholic. I agree with something you put up a little while ago about the building does not define your religion and your faith. Because I've seen, God, how can I put it? I've seen too much crap done in faith's name.
Right.
That I've lost all respect for basically most organized religion, even though I pray every single day. And if you guys have watched any of my everyday carry videos, I do carry a rosary every single day.
You and I are kind of on the same page. And no disrespect to anybody that feels differently. I'm just speaking for me. Yeah. We don't go to a church building. And there's several reasons for that. But we still have our faith and what we do at the house, within our family.
Yeah. And see, and that's what I think is great is that you have that structure and you have that foundation that can help pick you up. Because I can only speak for myself. I know there's some points where, and I've made this joke with you, my kids are running rampant. I want to throw them out a window, throw them in a dumpster, or light them on fire. Joke if anybody's from CPS, okay? And then other moments, they just come up and they give you that hug, and instantly you're like, why was I angry? I'm like, oh, come here, baby,
Right.
Or the joking with my son. When I sit and I go, hey, buddy, you feeling comfortable? Yeah. Well, I got to work on that, all right? I need you out of my house. And he starts laughing. He's like, I know you really love me, Daddy.
Right.
But there's those, slight little moments. And, okay, Tevin, I agree with you so much, bro, but being raised Roman Catholic, on that, the church is the building, for lack of a better phrase, but we'll get into that later. Okay, now, you made mention you want to talk about stuff before you join the military. And I think it's kind of important because it gives a good background for who you are. Now, you and I have talked privately, and I've never said anything about this. I know you said you wanted to share some certain things, so I'm going to open the floor up to you.
Yeah, you brought the idea up, but you said for tonight you wanted to talk about military life before the military and whatever veteran issues. And for my story, it's kind of hard to talk about life before the military without talking about the reason why I joined the military in the first place.
Floor is yours.
Yeah, so I'll tell the funny part of it first. I always tell people that I accidentally joined the Army, right? And you're like, how does that happen? So I had a friend of mine when I was in high school. I had a friend of mine that he was going into the Army Reserves. And so we were out driving around one day, and he had to stop by the recruiter station to sign some paperwork or do something. And so we go in there. I sit in the waiting room. I'm waiting for him. And you know how that works. If you're a high school kid sitting in a recruiting station, somebody in BDUs is going to come by and talk to you.
Shark attack.
Right.
Everyone's fighting for you.
Like, hey, we've never seen this guy before. What's he here for? Hey, what are you doing with your life? So this sergeant comes out to talk to me. He's like, hey, I don't remember what all he said, but it basically, the drill. Like, hey, what grade you in? What are you doing after high school? You want to join the Army? And me, I'm like, I'm not joining the Army. No, I'm just here with him. Leave me alone. Long story short to that, 6 months later, I was shipping out to Fort Jackson, South Carolina.
Relaxing Jackson. That's where I went to.
Yeah. So, but it kind of, I had to retake the ASVAB because when the recruiters came to my high school to give the ASVAB, I'm sure they probably did that for you also. I don't know. Were they doing that when you joined?
In my high school, no. I had to go to, it was like a college nearby that they had rented out like the gym, and you had to go in there and everyone took your test right there and you got your results later on. Okay.
So I don't know if this is a normal thing everywhere, but I know it is here. Like the recruiters came to the high school. All the high schools, was I a junior? Yeah, I was a junior. I was either a junior or senior. I don't remember. One of those 2 years. So they pull us all into the library. We all take the ASVAB. And me, I'm like, what is this crap? I'm not joining the Army. I don't care about this. So, I'm just, yeah, it sounds good. A, C, D, yeah, whatever,
Weird little marks all the way, yeah.
Yeah. Needless to say, my ASVAB score was terrible. Like, I think I would have qualified to be a tanker. I don't know. And much love to tankers. I love you guys. So when it came time to after this with the recruiter, when it came time to go to MEPS and actually enlist, I had to retake the ASVAB because my choices were limited in what jobs I could choose from. Right. So retake the ASVAB. Now, going back before that, the fact that I showed up to the recruiter station that day, that's the funny side of it. I accidentally joined the Army. But the fact that I even was at the recruiter station that day and everything kind of happened the way it was truly a godsend. The reason I joined the Army at the end of all that was to get out of my hometown. Gary, that's exactly what he did too. Yeah. My childhood was not anything to be, it was terrible, to be honest. I grew up with a drug addicted, abusive mother. My parents divorced when I was 9 years old. So this was an opportunity for me to get out of that. There was so many times when I was a kid that I had to call 911 because my mom took a whole bottle of pills. Yeah. There was so many times where, she was married 12 times. There was different dudes at the house all the time. Most of them were, they were her drug buddies or your whatever. Uncle. Yeah. Right. But there was always drugs. We lived in a house that was falling apart. She was hardly ever awake. If she was awake, she wasn't there because she was out with, whatever, getting high somewhere else. Yeah. I was pretty much raising my sister. So that involved a lot of us trying to figure out what to eat, cheese sandwiches, because that's all we had. Peanut butter. I got really good at making like fake pizza. So you take a slice of bread and some American cheese and throw some ketchup on it, and you got pizza. One of the things I like to eat a lot is, and I've talked about this before, but like peanut butter and pickles on a sandwich. That's because when I was growing up, that's the kind of stuff we had in the house. You had to put crap together because that's all there was.
No, I get that. Like when I was younger, I really liked pickles. Now I even smell them. I'm like, cool.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I was raising my sister. We're in this house that's falling apart. If my mother is awake, she's beating me. Just this whole bad story. So we've gone back and forth a few.
Sorry, keep going.
No, you're good. So throughout the years, we had gone back and forth. I lived in my mother's house till I was about 13. I moved in with my dad at that point after a night of one of her boyfriends was drunk and he beat her. He hit my sister, and I broke his rib with a 2x4. I moved out the next day. So from that point on, she's still there. She's still just causing issues with my dad. I mean, my whole childhood was just terrible.
Yeah.
So joining the Army was, for me, it was a way out of my hometown and the crap that existed here. And so the fact that I was in the recruiter station that day and that all happened at the end of the day was a godsend.
Did you have a similar experience like I had in basic? Like when the drill sergeants are yelling and screaming, I'm like, I've heard worse. This is kind of like summer camp.
Yeah. It never fazed me. Now, I don't mean that in a disrespectful way.
I don't either, but
yeah. I've been through much worse. So
yeah,
I'll do push-ups. You want me to carry this bunk downstairs for no reason? Okay. You're not hitting me, so we're good.
Right? So when you joined, were you always into IT, or did you just pick something random and go, all right, I'll take that?
I tried to pick something that I thought would help me when I got out of the Army, right? I went in the Army as finance. I was an accountant, right? Now, once I got to, so I go through basic training, AIT, I graduate, I go to my first duty station. I actually ended up staying at Fort Jackson for about 8 months. Not for any bad reason. They kept me there. I worked in the S2 shop. Yeah. And so, and then after that, I got orders to PCS to Germany. When I got to Germany, that's when I really became IT, because they were looking for help. We called it a data center, but it was really just a room upstairs with a couple of racks and some servers. That's it.
Yeah.
This was back in Army times when every unit had their own servers, and there wasn't the big, data centers on post that served everybody.
See, Gary said it, not me. That's all.
We're going to get to that, man. We're going to get to that for sure. So this was so when I got to Germany, they were doing this project where they were moving the data center. They were setting up some new servers. I had done some IT work when I was in high school working at Staples, so I was like, yeah, I'll volunteer for that. Sounds like fun. And that pretty much launched me into an IT career. From that point on, I was pretty much IT.
Well, I'm kind of laughing because that's like the number one rule in the military. Don't volunteer for crap.
That was the best thing I ever volunteered for.
Yeah, but see, and that's the funny part is sometimes when you volunteer, you have a lot of fun. And I'm not talking about, okay, we're going to go to the motor pool, turn the rocks over and paint the rocks white on the bottom, let that dry, then turn the rocks back over and clean out the top of the rocks.
Right.
You
mean to tell you why I thought this was a no lag zone. You're freezing up. You mean to tell you the reason why I really volunteered for that?
Sure.
Because the other option for that week was to be at the motor pool, PMCS, and vehicles all week.
Smart move. Oh, dear God, smart move.
So, but doing that, I mean, that launched, I'm still an IT guy 20 years later. So that launched, I mean, everything that happened for me from the time I walked in that recruiter's office until today, because it all launched to what I have now, my college education. Our house is it was on a VA loan. Everything is because I accidentally walked in the recruiter station that day.
Well, see, this is kind of what I was just thinking. It's like, it's a miracle how one little moment, and I've said it enough in my videos, one thing can change the whole course of your life. And if you look about it, because you went in there, you've got a wonderful family. You have an amazing wife. And no, I'm not flattering you for cookies, Mel, but if it helps, I'll go on about that next 20 minutes, okay? You've got awesome kids. You've got a very secure job. And you've done very well for yourself because different place, different time. I went, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I just, dude. And, all right, and I know it's another one of those wrong place, wrong time kind of things, because I remember you sharing, this is one of the things I really wanted to talk to you about. When you were, I think it was at Bragg, and you twisted your ankle, and basically your whole airborne career and everything was done.
Yeah, so that was in Germany, actually.
Okay.
That was in Germany. So I got hurt in Germany. Actually fell through a bridge. Hey, what's up, Mike? I got hurt in Germany. That's where I got hurt. And then I PCS'd to Fort Bragg to an airborne unit. And if you PCS to Fort Bragg in an airborne unit and you can't jump, they got no use for you. So,
Yep.
Okay, it's med board. Have fun, soldier.
But that's also one of those weird things because it set you up differently on the outside. But we're going to back up for a moment.
Yeah.
And speaking of right place, right time for a random encounter, we have to talk about the hard charging, ass kicking, door breaching, massive wife you have. And not massive as in huge, just she's incredible.
Yeah, absolutely.
I gave Dave mine.
Yeah, they shipped it across the country.
Exactly. I still am in awe, first of all, that an IT guy got an MP. Let me back that up. Was actually allowed to approach a female MP. Because normally her male counterparts are like protective wolves. Just no gate, nope. How? Just how?
It's a funny story, actually.
Well, you better tell it.
So I had just come back from deployment. I was in Kosovo. Had just come back, finished debriefing, all that good stuff. And this was the first weekend we could go out. So I didn't want to go out. I didn't want to go anywhere. And a friend of mine, the guy that I was hung out with, he's like, man, come on, let's go out. So we jumped in a taxi cab. We were going to go to this place off post, and last minute we decided, hey, let's go to Flieger Horse and go to the International Club. It was the soldiers club on base. And so, we walked in the door, and there's a table almost as soon as you walk in the door, and Mel was sitting there with a couple of friends, and it's all history from there. I mean, she saw me. She saw what was walking in the door, and that was it, man.
All right, no, now I got to knock you down. No. I love you, brother, but I've seen you without that beard, and I've seen your military pictures. There is no way that hard-charging MP looked at your face and went, that's my man.
Fair enough.
Love at first sight? No.
I think I've got the picture right here. Let's see. Somebody else wanted to see this a while back. This is one of few pictures I have without a beard. Yeah, here we go.
I'm like, Mel, you're biased. Biased. There is no way you took a look at that photo and went, that's my man. I'm going to marry him. No.
The beard definitely improved things.
It couldn't have hurt. Sorry. Oh. Trying to be positive here, guys, but he's my brother and we pick on each other a lot. Now, I do want to say this publicly. I'm proud to know him, and I'm proud that he has beat my ass multiple times behind the scenes when I've needed it. He is someone that I can actually go to and go, so how about I fuck up? And he's not going to sugarcoat it. He's going to tell me straight out. I'm very privileged to know him. But continuing on here.
I don't beat you. We've had some conversations, but I don't beat anybody.
That's because you can't hit me through the internet. If you could figure out how to do that virtually, you have a handprint right here.
I'm working on an app for that.
I don't doubt it. Somehow I don't doubt it. Oh, my God. It's okay. What made you, was it the med board that made you transition out of the service?
Yeah. So real quick, going back to the night we walked into the International Club.
I'm overlooking. So
what you said about her MP buddies, yeah, she was surrounded. This place was full of MPs. She's told this story publicly before. Yeah, there you go. There's her favorite.
Yeah,
her favorite comment to talk about. So she's talked about this before. There was a guy there. I don't remember who this guy was, or I don't know anything about him. So this whole 24 hours is hilarious, right? So walk in the door, we meet, we sit down, we're hanging out, chatting, drinking, and apparently something happened outside the club where some guy got the crap kicked out of him or something by some MPs. I guess this guy was stalking her, and I don't know the whole story. She doesn't know the whole story, but somehow somebody got beat up. What's up, Vinny P? Somehow somebody got the crap kicked out of him. So we hang out. We'll fast forward several hours. The next morning, I get a call. Well, I had left. She left her purse in my car, all this junk. I had to take it back to her. I get back to my barracks. There's a note on my door that an MP had stopped by. He wanted to talk to me. And I'm like, what in the crap is this?
Sorry.
Right? I had just met an MP, a female MP the night before. I'm like, oh, my God, what is going on? the worst thoughts start running through your head. I'm like, I didn't do anything. All right.
Duck and cover, duck and cover.
Right. So I go up to my NCO's room and I show him the note and I'm like, I don't know what this is. I did hang out with somebody last night. I don't know what this is about, but I guess I need to go. So we go to the MP station, and it turns out it's just because I was hanging out with those people that night, they want to know if I knew anything about this guy that got his butt kicked.
Yeah.
I didn't know anything. I didn't see anything. I didn't know the story. So, I told them what I knew, which was nothing. They're like, all right, thanks for your time. That was it.
And about that point, his butt went, boop, okay, we're normal.
Good. and yeah, she just said it there. They beat the crap out of the guy. And, MPs protect each other. So nobody found out what happened as far as I know. And that was the end of that story.
Yeah. I'm trying to explain it as nice as I can. Those who've been in the service know male MPs are very protective of their female compadres.
Yep.
And it's still one of those that I love making this joke at Ken's expense. So here he is. Okay, input A, input. All right, semicolon. Yeah, okay, type in on a keyboard. And there's Mel out in the field, locked and loaded, racking a 50 cal going, gotcha. So I always say Mel has the tater sacks in the family, and then, we got Ken. But still.
So we are both disabled veterans, right? I fell through a bridge during training. She was a top gunner in a Humvee doing a night training mission. Her Humvee got rear-ended or got hit somehow, and she got thrown from the Humvee and landed on her back. She's much tougher than I am.
Duh. No, sorry. I'm just saying, we know that, and no Vinny P, that's not normal, but if you've been in those areas where your butt just puckers big time, you will hear a visible pop when all the stress is gone.
There's almost nothing worse than coming back to your barracks room the next day after you spent that night before hanging out with a female MP, and you've got a note from an MP on your door. You're like, oh, crap, I'm screwed.
Right? Well, it was nice having this rank. Here you go.
It's all yours.
All right, so when you guys did you both get out around the same time, or was it kind of separate times? And
no, I PCS to Fort Bragg from there. And then she got out from Germany. I don't know exactly how long after that, a couple months after that. And then we didn't see each other again for 11 years.
Yeah, that brings up that whole stalking joke I like to make, but we're going to move past that right now. Did you really face any separation anxiety when you got out? Like, oh, God, what am I going to do now? Is my life over? Because I can only speak from personal experience. I know this is not going to shock anybody. I was a jackass when I got out. I had a chance to re-enlist and do a different job, and I went, nope, that doesn't sound fun. I'm done. See ya. And then when that day went and you signed and got your DD-214, I was like, oh, fuck, what now?
Yeah. No, I didn't have any separation anxiety. I mean, I've always been the type of person, everything that I do is calculated. Everything is planned. Now, Mel will tell you different because around the house, not everything is necessarily planned. But I'm a routine guy, no matter what she says. But for big stuff like this, I'm calculated, and I typically have a plan. So when I was getting out of the Army from Bragg, I had a job lined up where I was moving to. It was a civilian position. I was on terminal leave for 3 months. Because I did not have my DD-214 yet, because you know how it works, you're on leave for that time period, so technically you're still in the Army.
Yep.
Because I could not go into that job because I was still basically on active duty status, that job was pulled from under me and given to somebody else. So I had a plan. There was a couple of months there where I was on unemployment for just a few months, and then I got a job, and that's where I've been ever since.
Don't set me up that way, Mel. That's all I'm good. Please, just don't.
I plan on getting out of line in about an hour and a half.
Oh, God. Now I need a shower.
No, but so no, I ended up I was on unemployment for 3 months, and then I ended up getting a job anyway, and that's what I'm still doing now. So no, I never had any separation anxiety. I was ready after getting hurt and going through all that, and then you get to Fort Bragg and they're like, oh, you can't jump, we don't need you. So they stuck me in this position that was just ridiculous. I was bored to death for a year and a half, so I was ready to go.
Okay, so you got out, you lost that job. I mean, granted, you said you did unemployment for a little while, but did you ever have that point where you're like, man, I wish I hadn't got injured. I wish I could keep going. I want to do my 20. You know, any self-doubt at that point while you're on unemployment, or?
No, I mean, look, I'm the type of person that I think everything happens for a reason. I won't say that I have regrets. Are there things I wish I would have done differently in the past? For sure. I think we all have that.
Yeah.
But I'll never say that I have regrets because I think everything happens for a reason the way that it's supposed to happen. And everything is about how we make it. We make the best of the circumstances that we're given. So I never really had an issue where I was like, man, what am I doing? I should have done something different, or I wish I wouldn't have gotten hurt, whatever. Yeah. Things were how they were supposed to be. That's my story. I was worried about the job thing for a little bit because it was taking me forever to get the job that I wanted. I almost took a job delivering propane because I had my driver's. I would have had to get my CDL, but I would have automatically qualified because I had so many driving hours in the Army and all that stuff. So it would have been easy for me to get it. I almost took a job delivering propane. I would have been basically a truck driver.
Nice.
But
I just can't see you in a trucker hat with an 8-track going somewhere like, you know.
Right. So I had an interview for this company, and this is what I was going to do. And then I got a call from the job that I've been trying to apply for, and everything was good.
Thanks for stopping in, brother. Pleasure to have you here.
See you, Anthony.
Yeah, Ken as a trucker. God. Nope. Okay. So you got out, you got your new job going. You got your house. And I kind of love making this joke because I know you said Mel and everyone moved in with you. How much of your stuff were you allowed to keep when she moved in? She's like, you can pick what, like 5 items, and I'm redecorating everything? Or, you know.
Look, when she moved into the house, right, I think I might have had one picture on the living room wall.
You didn't
I
have
had like a red towel, like in the bathroom. I had a red towel, a blue carpet, and I don't think there was anything on the walls. A toilet paper holder, you know, that's it. So she came in and decorated the whole house, and I was like, okay. And now the walls are full of stuff. She does a good job.
Wouldn't be here, man.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Yep. Her unit deployed. She was training for that deployment. Her unit deployed right after that, and the group that she would have been with was in that IED blast. So.
And yeah, and speaking of weird stuff, guys, because like he talked about when he went to Bosnia, my old unit set up the area he was operating out of, which is just weird when that came to light during that veteran stream that I had. I'm like, oh my God, I feel so old. I hate you, Ken, but I feel really old right now.
And it was comfortable, man. I was in Kosovo for K4 Bravo. So it was basically the peacekeeping mission that was there. I was in the NCO barracks. Were you ever at Camp Monteith?
No.
In Kosovo? So it looks like any other camp, though. I mean, they're all set up the freaking same, you know. So there's a row of barracks, and then there's some bigger barracks. There were the NCO barracks, and there was just me and 2 other dudes in this, and we had room dividers and all this stuff. So it was pretty comfortable. So appreciate you didn't set that up, but appreciate those that did.
Yeah, it's just one of those. It's amazing how small the world is in certain areas when you start moving through it, and you start playing the connected dots between people's lives. But okay, let's get, you got your house. How can I put it? Because a lot of this is, we're going to get into some more stuff here in a moment. I don't want to keep you too long.
Oh, you're good, man.
So you have to go get out of control, but still.
We got all kinds of time.
You get the house. How did you and Mel reconnect and start moving on to where you were? Where you are, excuse me.
So we had been friends on Facebook for a number of years. And I was watching a Green Bay Packers game. It was 2015. The Packers were playing the Seahawks in the playoffs. And this was the year that stupid special teams screwed up. We could have won that game, but they screwed up. The Seahawks won.
Yeah,
I think the Seahawks went on to win the Super Bowl that year.
Yeah, but thank you.
Right. So I was watching that game, and then I knew she lived in Wisconsin. She was a Packers fan too. We had chatted sometimes, so I sent her messages. I was like, "Man, did you see that game?" And so we got to chatting for a little bit. Right, Tender, yeah. We got to chatting for a little bit. I found out she was single. She had been with a guy and whatever. I found out she was single now. I was single. So I think that night we talked for about 6 or 7 hours. And then, yeah.
The rest is history.
Yeah, I mean, we were on the phone all the time. I ended up going to Wisconsin in February to hang out with her and go visit. And then by June, we were moving her down here.
Nice. Now, if I understand this correctly, you guys have a blended family right now, right?
We do, yeah.
That's also something weird, which I share in common with you because I'm both a parent and a step parent. I'm not quite sure how to ask this. Have you had any real problems being a step parent? You know, like any friction, like you're not my daddy, you're not this, or has it all gone pretty smoothly for you?
No, it's all been so. When I met, I'll say Mel's kids because at the time, but when I met them, I mean they're my kids.
Yeah.
When I met them, my daughter was 4, and my son was 2. So they were young. There's some stuff they dealt with or whatever too, but it was like an instant, like, man. And now my daughter is like my little shadow, just glued to the hip. So no, there was never a tough transition. I would say the only toughest part of the transition was Mel was used to being a single mom.
Okay. So
now she's got a hands-on dad. That's there was some adjustment there. Nothing bad, nothing that was a major issue, but just an adjustment.
I understand that perfectly because before my better half met me, the people she was with were kind of, really hands off unless they were hyping the kids up, and she felt overwhelmed. And I hate telling this story because it makes my son feel really, really bad. The moment I met him for the first time, he balled up his fist and hit his mother in the stomach. The way I was raised, you don't do that. And when he drew back a second time laughing and went to swing forward, I put him on the ground. I'm like, you just don't. You don't hit women. You don't. And I'm like, well, guess what? I guess I screwed up. And yeah, it was nice dating you. Bye.
Right.
But it was having someone stand up for her and be there for her. It was almost game changing.
Yeah. I can remember a conversation that I had with our son. I don't know exactly when this was, but I remember the conversation. He had smarted off to her and, back talked and whatever. And I basically told him, I said, look, I know that she's your mom, but she's my wife, and you're not going to disrespect my wife.
No, I get it.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's cool that it's all gone, really, really cool and really blended well. But all right, I know in every single cotton candy clouded sky, there's got to be a little rainfall.
Sure.
When you guys have problems in your house, what's a big thing that you do to help bring it back under control? Other than the whole okay, now we got to talk to you. The happy face, angry face.
Are you talking with the kids or with us?
Go for both.
So with us, we're both kind of the same. I have changed kind of the way that I approach that kind of stuff. Now we don't have a lot of fights. It's not like we don't have issues, but we both kind of do the same thing. She likes to be alone to process. I like to be alone, so we'll just separate, not talk, and then eventually we come back together and we work it out.
That's cool. So like with the kids, when there's like disagreements going on, is it kind of like the same thing? You guys kind of space, come back together, talk it out, figure out what's happening?
For the most part. Sometimes I'm that type of person that I think there's a lesson in everything. And I'm probably in every family is about the same. I'm the lesson guy. I think there's a lesson in everything. So like on the spot, let's have the lesson. She's more nurturing than I am. So
I get that. And Jimmy, well played, sir. Well played.
Right.
And I get that, Mel.
Yeah.
I'm releasing a video tomorrow of something that happened on Mother's Day. I know it's going to be very aggravating for some people, but it's another instance of why I'm very happy for my better half. It was not a very, very good day. And it's one of those days where I'm very thankful for people like Ken in my life and Prac. I was able to handle things better than I would have 7 months ago. And I'm just going to kind of leave it like that.
Yeah. I mean, to put that simply, since, basically what she's saying there, she had to learn that I was not going to hurt her because that's what she had experienced. And she had to learn that I was not going to hurt the kids in any kind of way. I'm not talking physically because I don't think that ever happened with the kids, but that I was not, that I was going to put the kids first before myself.
Well, I think as a parent, we're all that way because I'm always like, when I get up that day and I know there's bills that got to get paid, I always make the jokes with my kids, hey, daddy's got to spend money today. Leave me alone. But there's a neat point where we got my girls last tax time. We got them little tablets to help, with learning, help with schoolwork, and let them play games on it. But they had been breaking down. There'd been problems. And what's really weird is how that Mother's Day ended. It started so perfect where I was able to go, hey, Tiff, why don't you do a mother-daughter thing? Why don't you go to Best Buy and pick them up brand new tabs? Get them cases, get them extended memory cards. And, oh, the boy needs a new Kindle? Okay, get a new Kindle. So it's weird how, God, everything starts wonky but ends up sometimes good. And I understand the kids are always coming first because that's everything. All right, what do they need? Do they need socks? Do they need underwear? Do they need new shirts? Do they need new shoes? Okay, that's checked off the list. Honey, what do you need? Okay, now that all those are taken care of, hey, can I do this?
Right.
Granted, my can I do this is either a new blade, something from Chesapeake, or Johnny Slicks, but still, the top three. And yeah, Vinny, God, how can I put this? That's that Italian house. It's that command voice. I know exactly what you're saying. When dad speaks and everybody instantly goes, ooh! I know what you're talking about, bro.
Hey, look, I'm 39 years old. If Vinny P's walking towards me looking like he has an issue with something, yes, sir, you got it.
I'm not. If I get past 100 feet, he's toast. That's all I'm saying. Bye, Vinny. I'm over here.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm going to try to phrase this nicely, Mel. Ken, how did you help her with that?
I mean, like I said, she had to learn that I was not going to do that to her. I can't, as far as being in a relationship with physical abuse like that, I can't relate to that, but she had to just figure out that I was never going to do that to her because that's what she was used to. I want to be careful because I don't know if the kids are watching or not, but
no, I get it. And yeah. I'm very grateful for what you're opening up and talking about tonight.
Yeah. There's been times where we don't see their dad anymore. He's really not a part, but there's been times where when they were going to visit and we would meet up, I would have to basically be in his face. Like, dude, you're not going to talk to my wife like that. That kind of thing. He learned pretty quick that I was not the one.
See, and this is going to sound so wrong. On one part, I envy you for that. My other two kids who were born before I met them, their donors haven't been in their lives. The last time Amber's, that's the brat, in case you guys are watching, my YouTube channel, she likes to call herself the brat. Her donor saw her, she was 2 months old.
Right.
Hasn't seen her since. And my son, he had seen his dad. He showed up here every so often. And then it's like he's a ghost. So I hate that. I hate the fact that my kids are always left wondering. So I'm jealous of you to have that shut the fuck up moment, with people doing that. And yeah, I'm kind of envious. And Gary, yeah, I know. He is a really, really damn good guy. I'm very privileged to know him.
Appreciate that, you guys. I make mistakes like everybody else, though. I'm not.
Okay, when you get to my level of mistakes, then we can talk about mistakes. All right, you're still in the junior leagues. All right,
I'll come to you for advice.
That's all I'm saying. I could walk you through how to screw up most things. Okay. All right, so I want to take this last part. And I really want to focus on some veteran stuff because you've opened up an awful lot about who you are, and I think it really shines through about why it's like when you talk, like when I watch your videos or we're in a green room, you have this great presence about you because you're true, you're genuine. By the way, my check better clear for what I'm about to say here. You're kind of like on the same level with like Dan C and Emo. I honestly believe there's certain people who are put on this planet to help spread good, just goodness and cheer and upbringing and positivity. That's why I said my check better clear, because you're one of them. And anybody watching, I'm just busting his balls, all right? I really don't want to see little Instagram videos going, oh, guess what? He's paying him. No. But still.
Look, the things that I've been through in life, my childhood, things that I've dealt with, people that I've dealt with, things that I've had to figure out, there's literally nothing that anybody can do or say to me today that would be worse than any of that. So until somebody beats any of that stuff, we're good. Nobody can get to me.
Yeah, see, I've always made this joke, and I know part of this is going to apply to you. What can you do to me that ex's life, the military, alcohol, and my mother haven't done? Until you come up with something brand new, you're not going to impress me.
Bingo.
You know?
Yeah.
See, I knew it. I knew you had a cookie slush fund, Gary. I knew it.
Yeah.
Now the truth comes out. I'm going to screenshot that later. But still.
You know, I wish I had enough money to do these things that people claim that I do. That'd be cool. It'd be cool to have that much money.
Okay. Before I get us back on track, I got to ask, do you ever just look at some of that crap and laugh your butt off and go, God, I wish? You know?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. If I could ever afford to buy part of a company, would I? No, because I love creating content. There's a conflict there, and I would never do that. But do I wish I had the money to do that? Heck yeah. That'd be awesome.
Wrong one. I wanted to grab this one. Dagan, I love you, bro, but until I see those lips move, I swear to God, you're a Muppet. That's all I'm saying. You have one of the most glorious beards I've ever seen.
Those lips are moving under that mustache, I'm sure.
But it covers it up so perfectly. And I agree with Ron. Like when Dagan freaked me out, he lifted the mustache up. He has cat teeth. It's like really weird. It's like looking at a cat smiling at you. You're like, damn, put the mustache back down.
Yeah. You know, I've had many opportunities in my past to statistically, I should be addicted to drugs. I should be an alcoholic. I should be not employed because that's what my mother was. Now, my dad's a different story. He worked his butt off my entire life. He was always hardworking. Not big rich type jobs, but he was a hardworking man. We had, as far as my dad was concerned, we had everything that we needed. We didn't have everything we wanted, but we always had food on the table. We had a roof. We had electricity most of the time, right?
Okay, I get it.
I had many opportunities in my life to make that choice to either be my mother or rise above that. Statistically, I should be that. Now, me and my sister took different paths on that. When I was in Fort Jackson in 2000, you got a comment or something?
Yeah, I'm pulling it up. It's one of those, I don't know if I should put it up, but I am because Gary put it there. So
yeah, true story. Yep.
Nice.
I thought about it for a couple of days because if I thought about, I could give up creating content and go into a business, but at the end of the day, I decided not to because I love what I'm doing now.
I will say it like this publicly. Whatever you want to say about Gary Lewis, you can never deny the fact that when he puts his heart and soul into something, it's going to work.
Yeah.
It may not be perfect at the front because Gary really loves blasting Chesapeake, may you rest in peace, for its first year and the stuff that he was doing, but look what he's doing now. Yeah. But still, Gary, my check better clear. All I'm saying.
But I had many opportunities to take that same path that my mother did. I mean, when I was a kid, there was always cocaine in the house. There was always pills. There was always alcohol. There was always something that I could have got myself. Now, unfortunately, me and my sister, we took different paths on that. My sister got into drugs. And when I was in Fort Jackson in 2000, September 2000, unfortunately, she was high and she committed suicide. Yeah. Yeah. So my sister got into drugs and ultimately she ended up choosing to commit suicide. She took the path that my mother took and it put her in that spot where she felt she had no other choice.
Okay. I'm going to ask a question. If you don't want to answer it, I fully understand. Okay.
Yeah.
What stopped you from going down that road?
I have no idea. I really do not know. Um, I truly don't know the answer to that because it was all there for me. It could have been easy for me to get into it.
Yeah.
Growing up, having to walk down to the corner store with, and this is no disrespect to people that need this assistance, but walking down the corner store with food stamps, wearing ratty clothes, getting picked on because of the clothes that I had. We had nothing.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff, growing up through that, made me realize that I do not want to be that when I grow up. And so I've always worked my butt off to make sure that I could provide for my family, provide for my wife, my kids, give them the life that I never had. And sometimes I have to stop myself when we have conversations, like if they don't like what we're having for dinner at night, I've got to remind myself that they cannot relate to the childhood that I had.
Yeah.
So when I start to say things to them like, you guys don't know how lucky you got it because when I was a kid, we were eating peanut butter and pickles. And they're like, ew, that's gross. I'm like, you know what? That's all we had. They can't relate to that, and I have to remind myself of that.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of things like, I know I'm old, but I remember having 3 channels. I never had the internet. I remember going outside to play. I remember your teachers really had a lot of control in school over your education and everything. Things were so much different when I was growing up than my kids are right now.
Right.
Like I've documented in a video where I got in trouble because I'm playing a video game, not remembering there's 3 hot cameras in my house with my kids doing distance learning, and Chris running his mouth in Assassin's Creed Valhalla is not a thing that should be in a public school system,
Right.
And you're like, oh, damn it, it's my home. Come on. But this is the one huge thing I want to ask you. What do you think had the greatest impact in your life making you who you are today? And I'm going to ask it like this. Do you think it was the time you spent with your dad? And like you said, he always busted his ass. He always paid the bills. He always did everything he could for you. Or was it your time in the service? And the reason why I'm asking that, I was an idiot before I joined. I know, still am. Shut up, Gary. I know you're typing it somewhere, all right? But the military really made me grow up and see things outside the little lens of small town Connecticut where I grew up. You go from really small town to Fort Jackson, and now you're living nuts to butt with 60 other dudes. It's something different. So what do you think had the biggest impact in your life making you who you are?
So definitely the military. I've said many times that if I had decided to somehow go to college or get a full-time job right after high school, I would not have done well. Yeah. I would not have done well because I wasn't mature enough to.
Hey, Rob.
Hey, what's up, Rob? And Steven, I appreciate that. Yeah, for sure. If I had gone to college or got a full-time job right after high school, I would not have done well. There were influences in this area that I lived that could have pulled me back into that. I don't know that it would have happened because by this point I'm already dead set that I'm not going to be my mother. But my dad, yeah, he was hardworking. We saw him pretty regularly once I got out of my mom's house because she was also that mother that did everything she could to keep him from seeing us. But yeah, the military, joining the military, number one, in basic training, if you're going to graduate basic training, you're going to grow up in the military.
Yep.
To what level is going to be based on the person, but if you're going to graduate basic training, there's going to be some level of maturing in that 9-week process that you grow up through that. So I did the military thing. After the Army, I went to college. Montgomery GI Bill, post 9/11 GI Bill.
Oh, so you got the good one. Okay.
I got the good one, yeah. So I went to college after the Army as an adult, working a full-time job, doing this really cool program this local college had. Worked out really well, but all that stuff happened after I was matured. The Army gave me that maturity. Heck, it gave me the GI Bill to pay for college. It gave me the life experience to get the job that I've got. The military gave me everything that I've got.
See, and I've said this to you before, and I've also said it to other people. The military will set you up for life to make you successful and make you confident and make you possibly rich if you listen and apply yourself.
Yeah. one of my favorite things to see, and you see them on TikTok and you see them in different places, but you'll see people make comments like, man, if I would have joined the military, they would have yelled at me. I would have dropped them. Dude, you don't understand. You would not have dropped anybody. Let's be honest.
I love those because, like, when I went through basic training, I still had a Vietnam era drill sergeant, and I'm like, "You want to swing on him? Okay, yeah, great. Have a flashback. You're gone."
You climb trees backwards with your weapon.
Pretty much. Oh my God, that post yourself on the marginal surface.
Right.
Whole new meaning,
Let me tell you my first morning of basic training. So we're done with reception. We're actually at our basic training unit. We finished the first 2 days where the drill sergeants are kind of cool. You're doing paperwork.
Right.
And then that next morning they walk in the bay and it's like, get up. Lights are on. They're beating on crap. I didn't get up fast enough. I made this mistake one time in the Army. I was still sitting on the edge of my bed. Drill sergeant's walking through the bay. And I said something stupid like, all right, I'm coming. Give me a second.
Oh,
that was the absolute last time I ever said anything like that.
Shark attack! Everyone from a 5-mile radius just there's Ken.
Not only was he ticked off, so was everybody else in that 60-man bay because they were all getting smoked right along with me.
Now, see, here's someone who knows. Hit the wrong button. Sorry. Here's someone who knows exactly what we're talking about because he's a former drill sergeant.
Right.
That's one of those that he hears that comment and Eric's like, oh, I got a hard on. Time to go to work,
See you, Vinny P.
Vinny P, thank you, brother. Much love for you, Hulk. Much love.
Yeah, man.
All right. Oh, what? I would highlight this Mrs. Bluegrass because I think it's a good one. Come on, hit the terror. And yeah, I mean, it's amazing what can happen through adversity, because you joined, thank God. This is the only way I can phrase it. Thank God you got injured, Mrs. Bluegrass, because you're an amazing person, okay? To think what might not have happened, I don't even want to go down that road. The Bluegrass family is freaking amazing, and it's just weird how the military set both of you up for success.
Yeah. Like I said, everything happens the way it's supposed to happen. Everything happens for a reason. Now,
do you think the military instilled a lot of values in you that carry over to your current job?
Oh, yeah. I can't go too much, but a lot of the same things that you learn in the military, I still work with that same type environment. So the same values that applied then that you learn, the Army values, all that stuff, it still applies now. I'm just wearing different clothes.
Yeah. And here's the other one. With your channel, do you think your time in service helped you set yourself up for success with that?
Yeah, I mean, that's where I started to learn a lot of the IT stuff that I've got. A lot of the stuff that, the stuff that I know how to do, I learned in college. I learned in the military. So, and then even stuff you can't learn in college, like work ethic, dedication, things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one of the things about your channel that to me really set you apart. Right out of the gate, you had a high production level. It was like a whole new level for a rookie. And that was so cool to see, You
didn't see my intro video because it was terrible.
So was mine. Seriously, I tell everyone this to this day, go look at my very first video. It's a book review. I did it in a military format. This is the book. It is this many pages. It will cost you this much. Oh, look, it has pictures. It has chapters. Oh, look, here's the author.
Right.
3-minute video on my iPhone.
It's the way that we're taught to brief things.
Yeah, but it's just amazing how adapt, improvise, overcome. That shit wasn't working. What can you do differently?
Yeah.
Now, you see, okay, I believe that from you. I really do, Mel. I just, knowing Ken, angry face, happy face, dad face.
No, look, if you want to see me angry and upset, be a fly on the wall when one of my kids are disrespectful.
No, that's okay. I like my image of you, all right?
Now, I don't get crazy and beat anybody or nothing, but this is
the knife hand. Yeah, the knife hand. Sorry. Well, I can't speak for everyone. A lot of parents nowadays just want to be, okay, go do whatever. Leave me alone, go.
Yeah.
And they don't instill certain ethics and values into their kids anymore. Now, granted, one of my biggest struggles as a parent is to remember I am not my mother, and it's not 1970s anymore, where she used to beat me with a Bible while quoting scripture from the Bible in syllables. So, yeah.
Yeah.
There's points where my kids can tell Daddy like has gone from red to here, and he's like, okay, Dad, we're gonna go hide in our room for a little bit. I do that, you know.
Yeah, become invisible.
Oh, like Eric. Even to this day, I talk to my former squad leader. To this day, I call him every Sunday.
One of the funnest streams I've ever been a part of was that stream we did, the veterans. You had a couple of your old units.
Yeah.
Your commander, who all was that? Your commander, first sergeant, whoever was on the stream?
My battalion XO, my platoon leader, and, well, Ray was just kind of there. You know, he was in charge of my section, but it was more like, I really don't want to be a boss of everything. Leave me the fuck alone. And everyone's like, okay. You know?
He's the one that really liked his ex-wife, right?
Oh, God. Yeah.
Moving on.
His daughter. Ooh. And yeah, exactly, Rob. I agree with that 100%, brother. Seriously, yeah. 100%. And see, Steven, I think that's really cool, bro. I really, truly do. All right. So, like I said, I'm going to wrap up this last little bit with these kind of things. I know nowadays, because you served in a different time than I did, we're seeing a lot of stuff with veterans, like with the suicide in VA parking lots, or the death lists with the VA hospitals. How does something like that affect you, knowing that that's our brothers and sisters that's going through?
You know, we're fortunate. Our VA here, the VA in Louisville and the VA in Lexington, they're not terrible. It still sucks when you have to call and go through all the red tape and deal with the person on the phone that really doesn't give a crap if you're calling or not. You know, it's a job. Yeah. But for the most part, I can say every dealing I've had with the VA has been good.
Eric, sleep well, brother.
See you, brother. I am enrolled in VA healthcare, so all my healthcare is taken care of by the VA. The overall VA and the way things go sometimes, yeah, it bugs me to death because we're supposed to take care of those. There are people that came out of the military in much worse shape than I did. Yeah. You know, I've got a bum leg, but my leg's still attached. You know, I have trouble sleeping, which thank God for CBD, I don't really anymore. Right. But that's the extent of what I left with. There's guys that have left, as you know, half their body burned off, no legs, you know, missing hands, whatever the case may be, that are in a lot worse shape than I am. And to think that those guys have to go through some of the same or worse because of the kind of stuff they're dealing with. Yeah, it's to say the least, it's annoying. I think there's a lot of changes that need to be made, but I also think that the VA's come a long way. I think it's gotten a whole lot better than it used to be.
Yeah, see, I'm privileged in my little small town. We have kind of like a little outlying clinic that's here. They can't do huge major problems there, but one of the things that I like is Seattle's outside the 50-mile range. If I'm having any kind of problems, I can go to any local hospital and my healthcare is covered.
Yeah,
because just go build a VA.
Right.
I just, one of the biggest things that has always bit me in the butt, you can have every idea you want to about the military until you actually sign your name on the dotted line and you graduate basic training, you graduate AIT, and you get to your unit, you're not going to fully understand. We're promised so much for our service, and then when you go to get it, oh, no, you don't qualify here. No, you don't qualify here. You were 3 hours short of actually qualifying for this program. You know, it's like, well, what the?
Yeah.
You know? And Gary, I'm sure you probably told me that before, but brother, I am so sorry.
Absolutely.
I really am.
Yeah.
Just didn't hit your
We've talked about that. Yeah.
And I mean, there's still a huge brotherhood. Like, I remember going on your show for the first time a very long time ago. And I believe it was Tiki going, how long have you guys known each other? And we're like, maybe 10, 15 days. And they're like, well, you guys are talking like you've known each other forever. I'm like, well, that's part of being in the military. How you slip into that role, and that's your brother, and you're instantly protective and defensive of them. And,
Yeah.
Now, granted, you've probably seen the idiots out there that, dishonorable discharge and, oh, well, I just couldn't handle this, so I decided to go AWOL. Whatever, moron.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we joke about the VA. I made a joke the other day because, so in the state of Kentucky, right, COVID vaccine, Kentucky banned the Johnson & Johnson vaccine pending more research into blood clots and all that. I think they've re-allowed it now. I don't think it was a big deal. But anyway, during that time period where Kentucky had banned, and I think a lot of other states had also, I got an email from the VA saying, hey, we've got the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. Come get your vaccine. I'm like, see, the VA does want to kill us.
Right?
It's fun to joke about, but honestly, the VA, the benefit is awesome. I don't take it for granted. The hassle of sometimes getting into the programs that you've earned is a pain in the butt, but it's gotten better, I think.
Yeah, I still remember my first thing I ever got saw for when I got out was asthma. I was having so many problems. I was going to the hospital, the ER on the regular. They just see me walk in the door. They're like, yeah, that room's waiting for you right there. I'm like, I got you. But
right.
When I saw my doc, who I didn't know was the top asthma specialist in Washington State, he was looking at the records and looking at stuff. He goes, dude, if I'd have known, I'd have gave up my lunch hour to see you. And I'm like, that really stuck out with me, that while you hear about bonuses and payouts and cover-ups, there's still incredible people like that who are still working to take care of us after we've gotten out.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, Dagan uses the VA, so yeah. Okay, that's my military rock. Okay, Aaron, I'll be honest with you. I've never had run-in with any of these guys. A lot of things that I see about Stolen Valor are on like YouTube, and I laugh at how stupid some of them are.
Yeah.
And I don't know about you, Ken, like when you watch TV shows and you see a uniform, you're like, no, that doesn't go there. Nope, that's wrong. Nope, what the hell are you doing? At least if you're going to do it, get it right.
Which, for entertainment, for TV and movies, that's all intentional. They always do something in a movie or on a TV show to not have the uniform exactly right.
Yeah.
So that's always, yeah. I mean, there's been times that I've seen what I think possibly maybe Stolen Valor, like this guy's not really ex-military, but it's not something I would ever confront because I don't know, I have no clue for sure. So,
yeah, I mean, unless I'm dead certain about something, my mouth stays shut because, as you guys know me, I can walk face first into some drama bombs and go, wow, I shouldn't have done that.
I will. So I think the closest I've ever come to that was I was in Lowe's one time, and Lowe's, I don't know, you guys probably know, Lowe's does 10% military discount all the time.
Yeah.
And the way Lowe's does it, you sign in through, I think it's verify.me or whatever. That system verifies your military history and then sends Lowe's a yes or a no, and then they tie that to your My Lowe's card. So now when you go in and scan your My Lowe's card, your military discount's automatically there. So I was in Lowe's one night. I was behind the guy that was checking out. What's up, brother? I was behind the guy that was checking out, and he did not have his My Lowe's card. He's like, well, here's an ID. Can I get the military discount? And she gave him the My Lowe's card paperwork. Said, here, just fill this out. And then we started chatting because I'm thinking, oh, cool, this guy's a veteran. So we started chatting. And I just kind of explained to him, like, yeah, I went through it. It's easy. Go sign in through here. It'll verify your military history. And we talked for about 15 minutes, and he's like, well, I wasn't actually in the military, but my dad was. I was like, dude, get out of here. Not that, I mean, awesome that his dad was in the military, but that's, respectfully, that's not your discount. So.
Exactly. You didn't earn it.
Yeah.
Alrighty, guys, I've had Ken here for about 70 minutes, and after what happened this weekend, I really want to do some quality family time tonight. So we're going to start to wrap this up. Like I said, in the beginning of the video for you guys who joined a little bit later. It was not a really, really good Mother's Day. It started off pretty good, but ended badly. So that video is going to drop tomorrow because I've always been transparent about successes and failures and everything else being a step parent. And I think it's really important to talk about what happened within my family. But with it being Mental Health Week, and I didn't know that until today, so I'm like 2 days into this week, depending where you want to start your work week. I said it in the beginning, and I always say this when I end my shows. Guys, if you're going through a problem and you're having issues, open up and talk. I may not understand everything completely, but I'm here to listen. This guy, oh my God, I pointed the right way. Wow.
Good job.
Wow, I'm growing up. Yay. This guy's listened to me talk a couple dozen times about stuff. And I always like how he does certain things. He's like, okay, what's next? Makes me think, makes me get moving forward, and makes me try to get out of an area. Now, there's certain times, like I've said earlier, he's had to bitch slap me around, but still, I've deserved it, okay? He just doesn't get up in the morning and go, I'm in a bad mood. Let me call Chris. Right. You know? It's okay to have your problems. It's okay to have your issues. It's okay to be angry about things. But don't do something like permanent solution to a temporary problem. There are so many ways for you to get help. There's so many people who will listen to you. I know Ken has listened to other people. Guys, just talk. Share your demons. And I always do this. You want to add anything to that, Ken?
Yeah, I mean, my email is everywhere. It's on my channel. It's on my Instagram. If you go to my Instagram profile, you can click email. It's going to pop up whatever email app you use to send an email. Anybody can email me. They can DM me, video chat me. If somebody needs to talk, I may not have answers, but I can listen. And I'm willing to talk and help anybody with anything. I truly mean that. So if there's something that you need to talk about and have nobody to talk to, I'm here.
And guys, I say this really respectfully, and I've been saving this joke for a while. I even told it to Ken in a direct message. Ken is like herpes in a Fort Bragg barracks. He's everywhere. You can find him if you look for him, okay? That's all I'm saying. And that's said with a lot of love and a lot of respect, especially people who've been around Fort Bragg. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
Luckily, I left the barracks without that.
Ken's like, get away, get away, get away. Get. But like I said, tomorrow I'm dropping that step parent thing. Friday, I'm finally dropping session 5. I realize I was really late in getting out that 5th session that I promised. It's a really, really short video. All right. But I am getting back into beard product reviews, going slow. My next couple are going to be big box store brands. And then we're going to get out there and have some fun, you know? But Ken, what do you have coming up?
Oddly enough, being on the topic, so Thursday I've got a review coming out for Omega Beard Company. It's a veteran-owned company,
Nice.
A newer company. So I'll have that coming out Thursday. Monday I haven't decided yet. I may do a Kanashi nose wax. Who knows?
Nope. And, oh, before I forget this, guys, remember Friday is the table, and Sunday I kind of hear that pork roll loving some bitch out there, the Jersey jerk off, has something very, very going on.
Yeah, thank you.
You guys really want to go to his channel and check that out. It's going to be a huge auction for the Children's Tumor Foundation. Joe has been my brother ever since I started making fun of him in videos, and he picked back. He did an amazing thing last year. He's going to try to beat that record this year. So let's show up on his channel. It's broadcast everywhere. You know, you guys can find it real simple. Go there. There's going to be a lot of products, a lot of bundles to bid on, and it's all going to help a massive charity that plays an important part in a very valued member, especially in our brotherhood, in his life.
Yeah. Speaking of me being everywhere, I'll be on screen with Joe on Sunday.
See, I told you. Herpes Fort Bragg Barracks. See, that's what I'm saying.
You know, it's funny with Joe, man. Joe, even though he's wrong about pineapple and pork roll and all kinds of other stuff,
yeah.
I swear, if people didn't know me and Joe, they think we hated each other. But Joe's one of my best friends, man. He said he's a good dude.
He's so easy to put a quarter in that meter and just watch him go from 0 to psycho.
He says that's that Jersey in him. I don't know.
Oh, yeah. No, it is. It is. But all right, guys, I also leave you with this challenge. Try calling 3 people this week. Okay? You never know how your phone call may change somebody's life. You never know. If you can't do 3, do 2. Can't do 2. Oh, let's put the wrong finger. Do 1. Biggest cat's okay, I'm not even going to go there, Holly. That's between you and Ken. Just saying.
She's unfortunately, so as awesome as Holly and Don are, unfortunately, they are also basketball fans of like the worst college basketball team in the entire country, University of Kentucky. So love you, Holly and Don, but go Cards.
Nice. But yeah, make those phone calls because you never know how you're going to change somebody's life. And guys, with that, we're going to hit that little outro and we're going to catch you next week with the originator of the circus cow. You're going to want to watch that one. Guys, thank you so much for the time you just gave me. I hope you enjoyed our guest tonight if we had one, and yes, I'm pre-recording this, or that you might have enjoyed an open mic night or whatever the heck just happened. We're going to try to do these every single Tuesday at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, and whatever you guys are in between and around the world. Next week, we should have another amazing guest or something really cool for you to watch. Thanks so much for watching all this stuff, guys, and we'll see you in our next one.